back up here at the garage. Just finishing up this, started it yesterday. I just topped off the hydraulic. I didn't run anything yet, so I topped off the hydraulic. Engine oil is good. Now we'll start it, we'll work it a little bit, get the filter all charged up, and then recheck those levels. Don't forget about the final drives. So these are the motors down here for the sprockets. They take some oil, so let me show you how I drain those. There's a center. I take this screw out, and then the bottom plug you take out, and of course all the fluid will come out. Then you rotate the machine and you move this screw up, maybe just off center, and then that's how you fill it. And whenever it comes out the middle screw, it's full. These are very important to do. There's not a lot of oil in here, so you want to keep it clean. Okay, I just slide that under there to catch it, and then you take this one out. Now it starts coming out. Let that drain out real good, and then I use the same method. This stuff is very pricey, so as the bottles get down, I stack them. Now this drips into that. This one is completely empty. Every single drop of it is used. So then I'll do the same thing with these. Now, you know, it's up to there. So what I like to do then, once this drains down, I'll just put a little splash of oil in that center hole, and you'll see a little bit more dirty oil come out. These drain very slow, so get those started while you're doing other things, and then let them drain out real good, and then fill. So this is my old motor oil. I just put back into containers. A friend of mine has a shop. He does inspections and engine repairs, and he heats his building with his used motor oil. So I always take mine down to him rather than dumping it on the driveway to keep the dust down, or you know, just dumping it in the ground or garbage. This is a nice way to get rid of it cleanly. I'm looking for the lid to this bucket. Where did I do with it? So I have all these containers all full, ready to go down to him. So notice how I keep all my old waste oil over here. You'd hate to get that mixed up and put it in a machine, right? Now while that's draining, like I said, you just want to keep busy. Give it a couple pumps of grease. And I usually look for it, like when I can see it coming out, now I know it's full, and move on. Every pivot point should have a grease fitting. If you see a little grease coming out, that is not wasted grease. Right there. It's usually just a couple of pumps. And so on. I just wipe that fitting off whenever I see dirt on it. Okay. These are kind of tricky. Sometimes you got to position the machine to get under here to that one. So I'll go ahead and roll this machine in a minute. not taking it. So I got to rotate that. Okay. Another little thing you do, get a nail, get a screw, a small screwdriver. Just clean the dirt. Remember, these things are in the mud and the dirt their whole lives, so of course they get debris everywhere. Now they can get the fitting or the grease gun in there better. It's saying thank you. What took you so long? That's my sense of humor. My kids tell me I'm not very funny, but I think I'm quite funny. Good, good, good. Something right here. So you learn the machine and you learn where they're at. Now you can see why my garage is so dirty. So every couple machines, then I give it a cleaning. Even when I clean it, it's really, there's just stuff everywhere. I just did a video on a big floor, heated floor building. It was, I think it was like 40 by 70, and this is 30 by 60. You know, what a difference 10 more feet would make on each side. But it is what it is. This is what I got. So we make it work, right? Okay. So I'll go ahead and get this all done. The other final drive, these are the kingpins in here. Don't forget those. You just look for every pivot point. There should be a grease fitting. You can see it moving underneath there. And then we'll go ahead and get this all cleaned up. Barely dripping. This up there, back here. Just give that a little shot of oil. And see that. Still coming out quite dirty, mixed with some new. Again, a little bit of dirty out of there saves the life of that. Okay, let that drain. Give it a rotation and a fill and get this side here positioned. I'll rotate this hole down and get the side drained. Went out to Cat this morning and got my filters. The next machine coming in here is the 306. And look what I got. My new calendar, 24. So I usually grab a couple and give them to my grandkids, and they can hang them up. So I get this back in the office like I showed you yesterday, and start filling this in. Here's another project I'm working on. I put a new carburetor. This is not the one I smashed. I think that video already aired. We used this last year. I kept cutting out on it, so I got a new a new carburetor and a new coil hooked onto there. So I just need to finish this up, and we'll get this fired up and see if it works any better. Okay, with this, see, there really wasn't much oil in there. getting this positioned. Not very much smoke. Okay. Give this a slight rotation. So the drain hole becomes the fill hole. Before I get to that point, just tape and wipe these plugs off. Sometimes these are magnetized, these are not. Sometimes they are to collect the debris. Nope. Get them ready to put back in. Let that settle in for a minute. Okay. Let that drain. I like these little machines, the pieces are nice and light. Okay, so I'll find a place for this where I can start banging on it. Maybe right there. Let's see how this is gonna work. I just put a couple blocks underneath the sides. The majority of the bend is right here. I got a block here and a block here. Now I'm going to put one maybe here and here. See what I have. Alright, I'll give a little bit of pressure on that. I have a ripple here. It came right back. I might be buying a new one. What do you think, huh? That's nice. I have a dent here and here. Let's see if I can't pop those back. Hold your ears, everybody. I got a little bump right here. Plastic tab. So a piece of steel right in between those. Is that really all it took? I can still feel a little bit right there. About right like that. That's good. One right here. Where is it? Right here. I don't want to see a dimple from the sledgehammer in the metal. Just a couple of taps. Easy at first. Got a little dimple here. Maybe I would touch that back. That's from outside in. Let's get this here. Okay, that's straightened out pretty nice. I just called Cat to see how much a new decal would be. This was $60. I would consider that, sand this down, paint it, new decal, as well as touch up the machine, except they don't have them in stock, and he said it'll take a couple months to get it. So we'll just put this back on and move on to my next project. Okay. He's tightened up. Okay. And one thing I wanted to mention, I know I used an impact to put these in. I strongly recommend just using a wrench to snug them up. You could easily break them, and you don't want to do that. So just use a ratchet with the hex head on it and snug them. There's an O-ring in there that'll seal it off, so they don't have to be super tight. I just zipped them and hit it one time with the gun, and these you just want snug so that it's a pivot point. So I just wanted to mention that. I'm just showing you what I'm doing today in the garage. This isn't, you know, maybe it is. Maybe it is how to fix stuff. Okay, so that's off of the engine. That's what I was trying to accomplish. Once it started looking pretty good, I thought, maybe a splash of paint and a new decal. But if I'm going to do that, maybe I would paint the whole machine. It's a little machine. It wouldn't take that long or that much money. But I have a lot more maintenance to get through. If I get time in this winter, maybe I'll circle back to this machine. We could take care of this rust. It's a great running machine. So it just has some hours on it that it looks worn. Like I said, we might come back to that.